What's up, guys? Hey, I know we've been gone for a while. This is Honest as Fuck. Um, we have two out of the four of our co-hosts here. We got your girl Jen from the block. We have Jazzy Sizzle, FF. So this is an interesting. This is going to be an interesting podcast with just the two of us. It's never really happened before. Um, we are gonna go right into it. This podcast is about honest cheating, right? I know it sounds weird, but there was a debate that's been going on online where we're gonna speak both from the male's perspective and the female perspective, even though we don't have a guy, but it's all good. We don't have a guy around. TJ, I don't know where you at. But it's all right. I think I know men enough. I was raised by a whole bunch of them. This is the topic this is the a debate that's been going around online where a man is dealing with two women. He lies to one, and he's completely honest to the other one. So the debate is the question: which woman does he love? What do you think, Jazz?
I'm not sure if he loves anyone, honestly. Maybe this person, or maybe men who are dealing with two women are just dealing with two women and getting the benefits of two women, or how one person can have a specific set of qualities and the other person has different qualities, and they kind of she this person would just use each other based on qualities. Like, one person may be good at sex, the other one may be good at talking, and the other one may be good at finances. I feel like when it comes to men and in relationships, they can definitely play the field. You know, it's always when men cheat, there's always a reason why, right? They always justify why they cheated. Oh, you're not exciting enough, for our relationship is boring. And then they find someone else, and nine times out of 10, this other person knows that you're in a committed relationship and is okay with being the side chick. So I'm not sure. I mean, I want to say yes, you can love both of them,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, what is your definition of love? What do you
Um,
think?
I mean, love is infinite, so you can love as many people as you want. But there's also, and you can love them in different ways for different reasons. But to be in love, I feel he's he has to be in love with the person he's completely honest with, because if that shows honesty is a sign of respect. So that shows that he respects that woman more so than the woman he's lying to. And it can be where a situation where it's not always a married man, it's not always a man in a relationship. It could just be a guy also dating two women at the same time.
Hmm.
And he can just tell one woman, oh, I'm just exclusively interested in you. And then the other woman, he's completely honest, like, hey, I'm dating other people, but we'll see where this goes. So, in terms of love, he could love both of them. But to be in love, I feel like he's in love with the person, or maybe I could be wrong. It depends on how long the relationship is, because some people can click just like that, and some people it takes some time, and people mistaken the word love, or they don't mistake the word, they abuse the word love, and they get confused with the word love in terms of, okay, oh, I love this person. Maybe you care about the person, maybe you have love for the person, but to genuinely love someone requires a lot more than just, hey, we're together. You could be together with someone you're not in love with. Maybe he doesn't love either.
Right.
Right?
Um, when someone is honest, it's a communication skill, right?
Hmm.
to be honest.
Right.
And when you're being honest with that partner or that person, the second person that you're involved with, it's also setting boundaries. I'm going to be honest with you. I have my wife at home. This is what we are here. So with that being said, if he's being honest to his other person, maybe it's not because he loves that person, but he needs that person to recognize we're not going to be anything more but this.
Okay.
I feel
Or
like it would happen a lot in the celebrity world. Like, for example, Beyonce and Jay-Z, right? I'm pretty sure whoever Jay-Z cheated on with established that he's not going to leave his wife.
well, that's the purpose of non-disclosure agreements within famous people doing stuff like that, and I feel like it's less frowned upon with famous people. Like they get away with it, and it happens all the time, as opposed to a regular person like you and me. So, um,
If I come out with a non-disclosure agreement, that person will look at me weird, right? He'll be like, "What?"
right. I mean, I could do that. I mean, hey, why not? I mean, they'll look at you weird, but it happens. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Famous people, I'm pretty sure. So, okay, so let's talk about this situation. What if a man's in an unhappy relationship and he can't leave at the moment? Maybe because I've mentioned this before. Maybe because of finances. Maybe because they live together and it's cheaper rent wise, like than him moving on his own. Maybe they have kids together. Maybe they have a house together. They have a business together. Something that's tying them aside from him not being in love or having that they're not having that spark and they're disconnected. So let's say he totally disregards that whatever his wife, his girlfriend, whoever she is, and now meets someone else and connects with them. And then he's completely honest with that person. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave this person. You just got to give me some time. And it's like, but I love you, or I'm in love with you. So, I mean, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen firsthand. So, what about in those situations where it's something else that's keeping him tied for that moment, but he's ultimately wanting or intending on dealing with the second female indefinitely or for however long?
If he can communicate to this other person, if he can communicate to this other person that he is having problems at home and he can't leave his wife right now, so you know what, we're going to have to do it the way we're doing it right now, that same energy that he is taking with that woman, he can take that energy and communicate to his wife.
What if he has communicated to his wife and it's just like talking to a brick wall or there's no hope?
I mean, there's things like, I open marriages and things like that. I'm just saying, like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of couples out there that I don't believe in this, but they will have an open relationship or an open marriage just to save their marriage.
Right.
Because whatever that person is looking for, they no longer can offer. Or that person's needs has changed, because that actually happens a lot in relationships where you just change, like what you want changes, but
Mm-hmm.
you're still stuck in a routine.
Right. Right. I mean, that's just weird because if I ever get married, I don't know if that would be an option. I'd rather the person just leave. But then what happens when there's kids involved? How can you leave and not be looked at as like
A bad parent.
deadbeat dad or the bad parent speaking,
Hmm.
like, and then you get put on child support automatically, or you get the bitter baby mom syndrome, switches over from a girlfriend or wife, and now she's a baby mama. She's bitter and she's angry and she doesn't want you, but get what she had you, she wasn't treating you right. So it's like now you want him because he's moving on. But then a lot of women use the baby as a pawn. I've
Right.
seen it happen all the time. And I think that's a reason why most men are afraid of leaving relationships or afraid of leaving marriages for that reason. because it's hard for them to even fight for custody. You can, and some men do win,
Hmm.
but
I think all of this is a temporary fix. Like if if you are looking, if you find someone else in a relationship while you're in a relationship, that's all temporary fixes. Like what you're going through and what you're feeling emotionally, what you're not getting from your partner and you're getting from this person,
Mhm.
it's just a quick fix. All those endorphins that you're experiencing, usually when you cheat, you experience endorphins, like a rush of emotion, right? Because this is hot and new, and you're doing something you're not supposed to do. That's eventually going to go away. Those endorphins and those feelings are going to go away and settle down after a while.
That's for any relationship. So if so, let's look at let's switch over because I feel like we're bashing the man a lot. So I mean that's a good point. Endorphins, that's with anything. Endorphins are released when you give a hug, when you have sex, when things like that. So that's just a natural high that it's a psychological high, it's a mental high, it's a hormonal type of thing where in any relationship, whether or not it's a long lasting relationship, whether or not if it's a new relationship, if you're leaving someone for someone else, that always occurs. And then sometimes the magic, the spark, it fizzles out, but that's a part of relationships where there's ups and downs and there's fluctuations and not everything is perfect. So I get what the point where you're saying where it's like dealing with another woman, it's more exciting, there's an adrenaline rush. um Sometimes the grass is greener on the other side, most times it's not. But like I said, I feel like we're bashing the men. Let's switch over to the women. What if it's a woman dealing with two men, and she lies to one and she's completely honest to the other? Which one? I mean, which man would she love? Would it
Honestly,
apply
I
the
feel
same
like
way?
it gets a little deeper with women, right? Because a man can cheat, right? A man can cheat, and
Huh?
just that person cheating, it sucks, right? Let's just say, or a little ego they need to meet. But when a woman cheats, it's a little different because it's more emotion behind it. I mean, at least for the most part. I mean, you have those few women who are just ruthless with whoever they sleep with.
Yeah.
But a lot of women, when they make that decision and to step out from their partner,
Hmm.
usually it's a very thought out thing.
Process.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like with men, that's a ruthless woman. If she can be completely honest to one man and lie to the other, she's ruthless. Because if she really, I don't know, if she was really in love or loved one of them, I think she would lie to both. Let's just be honest. She would lie to both of them to spare someone, spare their feelings. But if she doesn't care, she might be honest with both of them, or she might just be honest with the other. I think with women, it's more emotional. It's, men really can't deal with that. If they notice, if they find out that their woman, their wife, girlfriend, whoever is cheating on them, they take it a lot harder than the other way around.
Right? It's easier for us, for women, to forgive a man for cheating than for a man to forgive a woman for cheating. Because they know that when a woman cheats, it's a lot of emotion behind there.
Right. She wasn't getting what she wanted out of that relationship. And it's more than just sex.
Hmm.
It's a lot of other things like support or communication or whatever the case is. But you know what? Well, what about those women, those men who have, particularly let's stick with the women. How about those women who have a guy that would do anything for them? Anything, like jump over hoops for them, and they're still not satisfied. And they would be the ones to go find another guy and cheat. What
Hmm.
the hell is up with that? You have this guy here who's willing to do whatever it is to make you happy, and yet you're still not happy. So what else do you really need? What else do you want?
I feel like sometimes people are just never satisfied. I've seen women in great relationships with great
Mhm.
spouses, and they're
Mhm.
just not happy. And you can see the spouse is putting in a lot of effort, you know, doing small gestures, doing things that normally can be overlooked, like sending flowers. I always can tell in the office, like, whose husband is thoughtful when they get things on Valentine's Day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Um, and sometimes just people are never satisfied with what they got.
They're
It's just, I feel like it's something within that you always just want more, and you have to control that feeling, always wanting more.
yeah, and you know what? I think that's what pushes the man or woman away, because that female or that male is giving you everything that you feel like you need, and the basic requirements of what you need: the love, the support, the financial, everything is. And then there's some people who abuse that. I think that's what turns the man or the woman to another man or a woman.
Hmm.
Like they're not happy. It's like they're not happy because they put so much energy into making someone else happy, and that person still isn't happy. So it's like, okay, what do I do now? Let me go find someone else.
Do you think someone can have a successful relationship with being that other person?
If eventually he leaves or she leaves the person, yes. If
My my mom always told me the same way you got him is the same way you're gonna lose him.
that is true. I mean, in most cases, it's true. Most
Look,
cases, not all cases.
can we just touch base with a little Cardi today?
Okay.
Just a little Cardi, because
Little
the
Cardi.
same way you get him, the same way you're gonna lose him. And when I said that, because everybody knows that her Cardi B and Offset is going through a divorce right now, and in one of her lyrics in one of her songs, I'm not sure if it's with Asuna or Mortal Sports, but she did mention that you left your baby moms for me. Like she says that in a lyric. Okay. She says,
Yeah.
I think it's the song with Asuna. She in one of her
Yeah, yeah,
lyrics,
yeah.
she
Because
goes,
she
"You let."
said, left your baby moms for me.
So that indicates that
Now I'm your wife to be.
hmm that Offset left his baby moms for her, right? So what's happening now? The same way you get him is the same way you lose him. He cheated. He had a whole nother kid with somebody else.
Oh, that's what happened?
I saw a girl. There was a viral video that came out that was posted in 2018. That's almost 2 years ago.
Mhm.
That this person had a baby with Offset, and she
Oh,
was she was saying in her video, like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to break up your marriage or whatever. So they had a baby together. I mean, I don't know how much is true. Like,
so
who knows what's going on?
I mean, she did mention that it wasn't infidelity that caused the divorce. There were other reconcilable differences that they have between each other. So it's deeper than just infidelity. I mean, that all of that lies with trust, respect. Um, but it comes to the point, if she's who knows what's going on behind closed doors. We know she's a good mother. Was she a good wife? In WAP, she says, "I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring." Okay, so did that stipulate that she was a good wife? No. We've seen her be a good mother. That's different. You can be a good mother, but you could be a terrible wife, and vice versa.
And I've seen her interact with Offset on lives and stuff. Like, I don't want to say that, like, I don't want to, like, I'm a Cardi fan, so I don't want to, like, presume that she was a bad wife, right? Because he was cheating before and she forgave him. And she
Right.
even made like statements like, listen, mind your business. I'm going to forgive him. This is my man. This is my family. He's the father of my children. But she also mentioned, one of her past lives that she is going to allow Offset to fuck other women. Like, I remember her saying that.
I heard
Like,
that.
like she said something to the fact like we're married, we're together, but you know, if he does something, I'm not gonna really, you know, get get mad about it kind of thing anymore. I honestly think when she said that, she was settling. Like in her, if any woman tells you, okay, if my man cheats, I can't even get mad. That's settling. That's settling for the fact that you may know that he's gonna cheat again. And I feel like she was trying to program herself, right, to be prepared by saying that statement.
Um, I mean, I'm trying to think of Cardi. I mean, outside of being artist, I know she's a Libra. I'm a Libra. See my shirt it says Libra.
Go Libras.
No, for real, yeah. But still, I'm trying to think. I can understand she is young. She is younger than us. We are in our 30s. So she is still in her 20s, about to be in her late 20s. She is young, and I'm sure in her mind she probably really did love Offset, which is what caused her to tolerate all of the bullshit. And I guess after a while, especially having a kid, I'm trying to look at it from her perspective as a female, as a young female, as a Libra. I'm trying to put my mindset to where I was probably her age. She, she felt like, okay, I don't want to bring my child up in this setting where I'm unhappy, because a lot
Mhm.
of times she's not going to be that type of person to raise her child just with the guy, I said the guy, her husband, or soon to be ex-husband, where just for the sake of culture, which is her daughter, right? She's probably looking at it like, my child feeds off, that's her priority. My child will feed off this energy that I'm unhappy and that I'm not satisfied with this marriage anymore with her father. So she's probably taking a high road and like, I'm gonna up and leave for the sake of her, for the sake of the child. I feel like that's her biggest motivation more than anything. Because if she didn't
Right.
have that child, I feel like she would have tolerated it a little bit more, because she's in love or she's infatuated. I don't know. She claims that even though they're getting divorced, she still has so much love for him, which rightfully so. That's the father of her kid.
You know, they can still fuck right after, like, when you break up your man, you still kind of fuck, like, it like lingers, the fucking kind of lingers after a while. No.
No, I mean, not for me, but I know it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I know
I
it
mean, I'm
happens.
happy for her that she is making a decision that she wants to do, right? We've seen Cardi B transition from, a character on Love and Hip Hop
Mm-hmm.
from an underground artist actually, to a character on Love and Hip Hop to a full-on celebrity. And, I feel like there was a lot of pressure on her once she transitioned from small TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or small celebrity, A, B list, C or D lister to an A lister,
Right.
and I think that has a lot to do with it. I think she's making decisions that's making her happy. And I'm so happy for her. Like, I don't understand why the internet is bashing her. Like, I get it. She says some lyrics that are kind of memeful, right? They're like, you can make a meme out of them. But
There are a lot of women out here who are married who don't cook or clean or do shit for their man. This is what I'm talking about.
I feel like this was recorded way before she thought about divorce.
No, of course it is. I'm just saying with her lyrics that she's not giving off the great impression either. She's not giving off like a right. A lot of people listen to her lyrics and really follow that shit.
But listen, if your man is cheating, would you cook and clean for him too?
No, why the hell would you be my man? That's the problem. Why stay with someone who cheats on you? Why stay with someone who doesn't appreciate you? Why stay with someone who takes advantage of you? Leave. Leave.
A woman always has an intuition when a man is cheating.
Of course. And if you don't have an intuition, that means you're probably cheating because you don't care to notice certain things about your man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say put in a hypothetical where both of them are cheating, right? So most women who are into their man and so observant and meticulous, they would notice the least thing with their man sneaking off to make a phone call, or taking the long way home from work, or being late, not being interested, not sleeping in the same bed, things like that. A lot of women would question that. But if the woman is not questioning that, I mean, she's out doing some bullshit of her own.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like we
Either she
also
notices and she doesn't want to say it, or she really just doesn't notice because she doesn't care.
have to give credit to these women, right? Especially these celebrity women. Um, like no one ever takes into fact, like into the fact that okay, these men have cheated on these beautiful women, right? Because Cardi B is beautiful, Beyonce is beautiful, Halle Berry is beautiful, right? They can have any man they really want, but they don't cheat. You understand what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's
I,
it.
I go ahead.
Beyonce, she's a very beautiful woman, but you don't see her out here cheating, or at least of that we know of.
I do want to say this, you know, being beautiful is one part of it. You can be super attractive, but if you have certain attributes that aren't aren't appeasing or appealing to the man, or you're not doing something to spice up your relationship, or you're neglecting your husband, then it's like beauty doesn't even make a difference. It's like not only is it physical beauty, you have to be good on the inside as well. And who knows what type of wives these women are. Those women are so discreet in terms of their marriages, like how they are as a wife. You see them as a mother. How are they as a wife? You don't know what they're doing, because women are super discreet. And
Yeah,
if a woman wants to cheat, it's so much easier for a man to get caught than a woman.
right.
So who
I
knows?
agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
So
Women know to what to erase their tracks.
right. I mean, some men do too, but like I said, it depends on what type of woman he's dealing with, if she cares or not. Even notice, right? So, because if a woman is really into you, she's gonna notice the least type of change, any type of change, like any type of
Right.
pattern that's going on. She's gonna, if you're off even for a day, she picks up on it like that, because she's really interested in you and she
Hmm.
cares.
And
She's
with
actually.
all the new technology today with tracking, I don't know if you know people who track
Mhm.
their spouses through the iPhone
I trust
location
me.
on.
Trust me. I know someone who went into a relationship and both of them like tracked each other. I'm looking at them like, you guys are retarded. That's stupid. Like, who does that? As grown people, who does that? The guy was close to 40. I'm like, you're almost 40 years
I
old. Like,
mean,
are you serious?
with all these people cheating, I mean, maybe it's a security blanket, to know where that person is at all times. The moment that he or she turns off the tracker,
Mm-hmm.
something is not right. That is going to be our argument for the day.
And that's the problem. That's why a relationship shouldn't start out like that. Because then you're going to want to get used to it. Right? And then I feel like even being so codependent in a relationship once you start out, it's super unhealthy. Like, you just, all you see is that person and you neglect your family, your friends, whoever, kids. Sometimes that happens with children. And then you're so infatuated and dumbfounded over that female or that male that it's too intoxicating. It's like a drug. And I think that's super unhealthy. That's
Right.
super unhealthy. But I do want to mention, since we're talking about celebrities cheating, honest cheating, look at the example of Dwayne Wade, the basketball player, and Gabrielle Union.
They cheated. He cheated.
Yes, he had a baby. They got married. He had a baby in the marriage. And she still stayed with him, and then they
Yeah.
had a baby of their own.
Believe it or not, there is a lot of like a lot of relationships are like that. I know a person who had a baby while they were together, and the kid, like their children are like, her child is 2 years old, let's just say, and the other child is 5, you know, and they're together. Like it happens a lot.
Wow.
It happens a lot.
See, they're still in a happy relationship. Look at that. They're still,
It wasn't always happy. Let's just put it that way. We know, I mean, I wouldn't be happy.
yeah, being with some, especially marrying someone and then they have a kid within the marriage. And it's not like it's towards 10 years down the marriage and there's possibility of a divorce or there's a separation going on. And in a separation, that's different. You literally got married and within a year, you impregnated someone else.
Mm-hmm. That's
That's
crazy.
like literally you're still in the honeymoon phase. So something is off.
Kudos to her, right? Because when you're in that predicament and a child is involved, that child is innocent, regardless whose child it is.
Of course.
And that child becomes the sibling to your sibling, right? So that's kind of weird, right? It's a weird transition. Like if I have a son and she has a son, they're brothers. So how do you transition the family into?
He had 2 or 3 kids prior to marrying Gabrielle Union. So she was already taking kids, which she was okay with. She didn't have kids of her own. And like I said, after a year or 2 in the marriage, they were already married. He got someone else pregnant. And she stayed with him. And then they got pregnant like a year or 2 after.
This is crazy.
That's what I'm talking about. Honest cheating. It happens all the time. That's why I feel like if you're gonna leave your if you have someone else, just stay with that someone else. Because if your partner was as great as you want them to be, or as great as they should be in order for you to stay with them, then you would be with them. You wouldn't even be attractive or involved with someone else. So I just always say, even though, like you say, how you get him is how you lose him. Not all the time. That's not necessarily the case. But I feel that I'm going to wrap it up and say how you, okay. I mean, I wanted to like really go into Gabrielle Union and how she kind of like took that in. Like she is a single woman, no kids, coming in as a stepmother, having her husband, have a kid. I just feel like the man should just leave, because if it's like between me and a second person, just choose the second person. Because if it's, if I was with you first and there's someone else, go choose the other person. Mm-hmm. Because obviously I'm not doing something right. You're not happy. I'm not happy. Whatever the case is, it's not going to work. That trust is already broken. So just go to the next person.
There's always one person, right, in the relationship who is going to accept what you're doing, right? Because these women are accepting, and they're moving on and they're adjusting and they have to, and it's just better if people don't straddle the fence. Just choose a side, just choose a person.
Right, exactly. I think that's exactly where I was trying to go with, just choose a person. But at the same time, I mean, even though I say choose a second person, be dealing with someone, cheating on someone sometimes kind of makes you like regret it. There's certain instances where you might regret it and you're like, oh my God, I'm really in love with the person I'm with. I don't know why I did that. So this validates it. I don't know, for some reason it happens, but it happens. Most times, if you're dealing with a second person and you're really involved emotionally, mostly, forget physical, because you can have sex wherever. And sometimes, most times it's meaningless. Sometimes it's not. But especially in an emotional aspect, if you're cheating on me emotionally, choose the second person. Just go. Sex is I feel like emotionally, it could be male or female. So.
Right. But I completely agree with you, 100%. But these men need to keep it in their pants. These women need to keep it in their pants.
What? I just said
they need to. They need.
It doesn't have to be sex.
when you're cheating, you're not gonna like, if emotional, I get it, but you can go out with a girlfriend or a male and go out to have coffee and talk. That's not cheating. You're just
You think so? I was
no, it's
watching
not.
Girlfriends. Hold on. I was just watching Girlfriends. It's so funny. And because I was binge watching this weekend. And she did not have sex with the man. She just kept going out to like movies, dates, but never had sex. Probably kissed a guy. And all of a sudden her husband found out and left her, even though she didn't have sex with a guy. It was an emotional cheating. So how
You
is
think
it?
that's cheating? But were
I,
they weren't
I was debating because if he divorced her over that, I feel like he's the type of person that he's the type of person that comes up with the opinion that I was just saying. If it's between me and a second person, choose a second person. I'm out. I think
right?
that's where
You ain't
his
fighting for nobody.
right. I mean, what are you fighting for if the person's unhappy? Let the person go. And then it comes down to that saying, if it's true love, if you let the person go, they come back to you, that's how you know they're yours. I don't know how. Sometimes it applies, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's like a bullshit reason, but who knows?
So do you think a woman on OnlyFans showing their nude body or being provocative, would that be cheating?
If she's in a relationship,
Mm-hmm. And she has an OnlyFans account, or he has an OnlyFans account?
hmm. I mean, if the other person knows about it, it's okay. I don't think it's cheating. But if they don't and they have a secret OnlyFans account, I don't know. I mean, I don't have one. I don't know how that works. And this shit is crazy. I don't know. The whole, I think that the internet just sabotaged a whole bunch of relationships in the past
Of
2 days.
course. And it's not even celebrities, right? Internet and social media can ruin just people's relationship in general. Me and you, Beyonce, Cardi B, Jennifer Aniston. Like it does. The internet does not discriminate. Social media does not discriminate.
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, you met the person online. It could be other people. You feel like you have to have this, you have to portray your relationship in this limelight because of other people.
Word.
Other people has to validate, oh, the likes, the loves, the tat, whatever, it's like the comments. Why does that validate your relationship? And why should that matter? If you're unhappy in a relationship, you really have to put on this front. Or even if you are happy, you really have to broadcast it to show, oh, I'm still with this person. I'm super happy. Okay, why can't you just be happy in private and live your life?
For real. For real. There's a lot of people on my timeline, or not my timeline, but there's a lot of people on social media that portray to have a happy, healthy relationship when, in fact, before they took that picture,
Mm-hmm.
they just finished arguing.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that ties in, if especially if they have kids, I feel like the kids play a major role. And I mean that just goes to show their it, like I said, it's the fear. If it's for a kid, I feel like you shouldn't stay in a relationship for a kid. Absolutely not. Because kids are so in tune now, their
Hmm.
emotions and their feelings, and they can sense things that we think that they can, but they can't. They can sense a
Right.
lot of tension. They can sense, and it's just not giving off the right impression. I feel like it's good for two parents to co-parent if they want to separate, whether they're married, they're not married, and be happy separately because now the kids are happier. Like even though
Right.
their parents aren't together, but would you rather see your parents together and miserable, or you rather see them separate and happy?
Right. So I think the moral of this episode is just be honest. Be honest with your partner, right?
Be honest, whichever way it goes, right? Be honest. If you feel like they're not listening to you and you've already voiced your opinions, then be honest. Be like, yo, I don't think this is gonna work. I gotta go. However, which way you want to put it, I gotta go. That's the ultimate thing. I gotta go. Or, hey, let's work this out. If you're willing to work it out, if they're willing to work it out, that's great. But just communicate. Be honest. help,
Mhm.
you know. But some
And
people,
just forget about what other people think, right? Because these women who are
yeah,
forgiving men, or even the other way around, men who are forgiving women,
men.
right? Cheating, and all of a sudden they just had enough. We need to let them do what they need to do.
Yeah,
If they're not happy, they leave. That's
move
it.
on. Move on. Don't string him along. Don't, find your way out and go. Go be free. Go be happy.
So I'm happy for my girl Cardi.
Yeah,
She
right.
needs
I
to
mean,
come.
you said it. She's feels like she's liberated now.
Absolutely.
You
And I
know.
know she doesn't want to be a role model, right? Because she said it multiple times. She does
Yeah.
not want to be a role model, but
Mhm.
this may motivate women who are in the same situation that they need to just get up and go and be happy and
Exactly.
not settle. I feel like a big thing is not settle.
Don't ever settle for anything.
Okay,
Male
so
or female. I do want to. TJ's not here to announce our new contest. Um, so basically, all our subscribers, new subscribers, old subscribers, comment below this video. Give us some potential topics for our next few podcasts. The top three, topics. Whoever you are, we'll reach out to you. We'll, get your email. We'll send you Amazon gift cards. There's different types of gift cards. Thomas is very aware of that. I know he mentioned in the previous podcast would announce it. He's preoccupied right now, so I'm letting you guys know. Feel free, like, comment, subscribe, and
share.
share. And you could possibly win one of the Amazon gift cards in different increments depending on how hot your topic is, and we will use that for our next few podcasts.
Yes, I'm so excited. We want to hear from you.
Definitely. So, this is the end. It's a little after midnight. We're gonna clock out. This is your girl Jazzy Sizzle and
Bye.
Jen from the block. Peace.